You know, sometimes when I get hit with that existential dread, that total confrontation of death, I get that nasty feeling in my stomach. But one of the thoughts that get me out of that is that it's a fact of life that we all have to face. And it helps even more when you have friends by your side who are also on this journey, who are also going to confront this inevitability. It's like a form of solidarity, but obviously friends are not just there for that. So, on our continuing discussion of friendship in philosophy, we turn now to Aristotle. Near the latter half of his work, the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle examines what exactly friends are, the type of friends we may have or get, and what they mean in our overall life. Let's actually start with a section later on about why we need friends in the first place. Let's take the most excellent person who has everything they'd ever want and was of good character. What need would this person even have for friends? Well, for starters, the excellent person to Aristotle would be someone who'd want to benefit others, someone who'd prefer to give rather than take. And in order to give and benefit someone, you need that other person, and that's where a friend would come in. It is finer to benefit friends than to benefit strangers. The excellent person will need people to benefit. Aristotle also goes over the obvious that we're social creatures. Living in isolation just isn't in our nature, and I believe psychology strongly supports this. I will say that Aristotle believes happiness is tied to activity. It's not so much that John is happy, it's more so that John is happy when he's playing tennis, for example. Happiness is not a constant personality trait, it is a state brought on by activity, and it's easier to engage in activity when you're with others. However, with the internet and video games and all these new distractions in life, I would say that it is easier to engage in activity alone today than it maybe was back then. Nonetheless, for the most part, friends equal activity, and activity can equal happiness. Friends can also help us in times of good fortune and bad fortune. As for good fortune, we talked about how excellent people would take pleasure in benefiting friends if they're doing well. But also, when something good happens to you, doesn't it just feel good to tell your friends about it? Isn't it preferable to share in good news, rather than to just enjoy it alone? Now, as for having misfortune, it does help to share with a close friend and have them support us through our pain. Aristotle does warn us, though, that a true friend would feel empathetic to our pain, and would in turn feel hurt when we share pain with them, so we should be hesitant to do so. Awareness of his pain at our ill fortune is painful to us, for everyone tries to avoid causing pain to his friends. That is why someone with a manly nature tries to prevent his friend from sharing his pain. I don't know, I recognize the desire not to darken a friend's day by sharing your pain with them, but I think bottling it up would be pretty painful for you as well. The ideal relationship seems to be where both people share their pain and help each other through it, rather than keep it to themselves to protect one another. If a friend of mine was going through a tough time, I'd hope they'd share it with me to get it out and not worry about my own feelings. Sure, I've gotten some depressing news from others and it did make the rest of the day sad, but for me at least, that's an easy sacrifice for letting a friend feel heard. But okay, we talked about the importance of friendship here, so hopefully Aristotle has gotten your attention. But what exactly are friends? And are there different types of friends? And if there are different types, which type should we strive towards? To Aristotle, friendship is a reciprocal desired goodwill between two people, and that desire must be recognized by both parties. So let's break that down. Let's use this person Bob as an example. What conditions must be present for you and Bob to be considered friends? Firstly, you must wish for goods for Bob, for his own sake. You want him to be benefited. But we often wish everyone in the world the best of luck. But that's not friendship. So another condition is that the other person must wish goodwill to you too. Bob must also wish goodwill towards you. And as for our last condition, you and Bob must both be aware that you wish goodwill to one another. If you're at a baseball game, you may wish fans of your own team goodwill, and they may wish it back to you as well. But neither of you are aware of the specific person doing this thing, and therefore it's not a friendship. So those are our three conditions of friendship. Goodwill wished for another, that wish for goodwill being reciprocated, and an awareness for the specific person doing so from both parties. Now, even with our three conditions, Aristotle still recognizes different types of friendship, three specifically. The first type of friendship is the friendship for utility. You both are wanting something for yourself out of this friendship. Those who love each other for utility love the other not in his own right, but insofar as they gain some good for themselves from him. I think a good example of this is the group project in class. You all are friends insofar as it's to finish this project together successfully. This type of friendship is easily dissolved because once the goal has been reached, then the friendship ends. Or perhaps the other party is not able to meet that goal, and because the goal is the only reason the friendship exists, the friendship is no longer necessary. It'd be like that slacker not contributing to the group project. They aren't helping you achieve what you want, so why bother with the friendship? The second type of friendship is friendship for pleasure. Now, your mind may jump to erotic pleasure, but that's only for friends with benefits, really. Pleasure can be just feeling good while hanging out with someone, which is a broad statement, I know, but this I think is what places a large majority of our friendships in this category. We don't really think too much about the basis for them except that we have fun and enjoy the pleasant company of this other person. Now, Aristotle thinks these friendships are quick to dissolve also because what we find pleasant changes. However, I think he's been a bit too pessimistic, if that's the right word. We usually form friendships for pleasure on the basis that we have similar interests and hobbies. For example, I have friends that share my love of movies and food and video games, and I've had these interests for most of my life. I mean, honestly, can anyone ever lose a love of pleasure and good food? So I definitely feel like these friendships are still fairly long-lasting, at least longer lasting than the utility friendships. But it doesn't compare to our third form of friendship, complete friendship. Thankfully, Aristotle is able to provide us with a definition for his complete friendship right out the gate. Complete friendship is the friendship of good people, similar in virtue, for they wish goods in the same way to each other insofar as they are good, and they are good in their own right. Hence, they wish goods to each other for each other's own sake. Putting aside Aristotle's overuse of the term goods, what does this all boil down to? Wanting the best for a friend not in order to get something in return, but for their own sake. You aren't trying to get something specific out of it like in the utility friendship. You aren't even trying to simply feel pleasant like in the pleasure friendship. You genuinely want what's best for this other person regardless of what you get out of it, and they genuinely want what's best for you, and both of you are aware of this and love each other. Now you may say you're a descendant of Mother Teresa and truly wish good for everyone in the world, regardless of what you get back in return. But again, going back to our 3 elements of friendship, in order for you to be a friend to someone else, they also want you to receive benefits, and both of you must specifically be aware of this. Also, with this friendship in specific, to truly love someone and know or want what's best for them, you gotta get to know them. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say you wish the whole world had consistent housing, food, and water, but what does this other person specifically want? What are their individual hopes, their dreams? To truly enter this complete friendship, you gotta get to know them on a deeper level, and that takes time. With the other types of friendships, you could kinda enter them quicker. You match with a girl on Tinder and hook up, boom. You're in the pleasure friendship. But for this complete friendship, it really takes time and knowledge to develop. The plus side, though, is that these friendships are long and enduring. It is reasonable that this sort of friendship is enduring, since it embraces in itself all the features that friends ought to have. So it seems that Aristotle is obviously showing preference for these complete friendship types. But I wouldn't say he's completely dismissive of the other 2 types of friendship either. I mean, friendships for utility, after all, are very useful for our lives. But to truly live an excellent life for Aristotle is to engage in these complete friendships. To have companions that you want the best for, and they want the best for you, regardless of what's to come. Sure, there are still instances where these friendships can be dissolved, if one person becomes more vicious and less virtuous, but for the most part, these relationships are very enduring. Well, a lot more can be said about Aristotle's thoughts on friendship and these different types of friends. So if you are interested, check out his Nicomachean Ethics. Not only for the friend stuff, but just in general. It might be in my top 5 philosophy books, personally. Hopefully this video was a good introduction to Aristotle's thoughts on friendship, though. If you found it valuable, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more philosophy content. And with that, I wish you all a beautiful rest of your day.